when I was leaving Japan, I had like a Japanese bank account, and I had a bunch of money in there, and I thought, okay, I'm going to transfer it home. Now, everyone thinks like, oh, Japan is like super high tech. Everything's like great because you have toilets that sing to you and like have little running water sounds while you're going to the bathroom, which is great. But their banking system isn't there. They still believe very heavily in faxes. And one of the things that I got when I got there is something called a hanko, and it's just like a little stamp that typically is your name in Japanese, or like the symbol. Alexandra or Lexee does not have a translation in Japanese, so they just picked something out for me. Who knows what it said? Who knows what it meant? But I used that, so instead of like signing or putting your initials on anything, you stamp it. Well, I had made the mistake. I accidentally put my hanko in my bags that I was shipping home.
Oh, no.
So as I was getting ready to leave, I was going to the bank, and they're like, do you have this? And I was like, no, I don't, but you know me. The reason why they know me is because every month I would go there and I would wire money back to the States. And they only had one person there who spoke English. So every month for 2.5 years, I spoke to the same woman. Exact same woman. And I mean, I do stand out in Japan. I know it's crazy to believe, but this is not what everyone looks like there.
No.
So right. So I'm like, I feel like she should know me. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot it. But here's like my passport. Here's my my ID, like my Japanese ID. I was like, I'll sign it. I'll initial, whatever you need. They're like, oh, without that stamp though. I was like, yeah.
but the stamp.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, but I mean, A, I don't have to stamp. B, I don't know what that stamp said. I couldn't even like recreate what that stamp is because I never even learned it, which is maybe silly, but I don't even think they would have let me recreate the stamp.
You sit over there stenciling it like, listen, this is what it looked like. It was just squiggles. I got you.
Right? And so they're like, well, maybe if you go to the main branch. I was like, but I couldn't even go to my branch. They told me to go to this branch. So I get on a train, go to another branch, and they're like, no, you got to go back to the branch that you created your account with, which is where I was at. So I go back to them like, hey, I was just here. I had to get on a train, take like 40 minutes to go to another branch, and they told me to come back here. Same woman from 2.5 years of interaction that I'm talking to. So I really do need to transfer my money. Oh, can't without that stamp though. And at this point, I'm like, oh my goodness, civility is breaking down. I'm about to become a different person at this moment because you're telling me, as I'm telling you, I'm leaving the country tomorrow to never return again, and you're telling me that you can't transfer my money. So I start getting loud because, I mean, what else are you going to do?
What else do you do?
So at the point where I'm yelling, I was like, I want to talk to a manager.
The manager doesn't speak English.
Exactly. So they bring the manager out, and she's translating. And I mean, who knows what the manager's saying? Because I'm pretty sure she knows I don't speak Japanese at this point. So he could be like, what is this crazy woman doing? And she could be saying, I just told her she needs a stamp. And she's telling me she doesn't have the stamp. And I'm telling her life doesn't go on without the stamp. So finally, they're like, well, fine, we'll take your signature.
How long did that take?
I was there for an extra 2 hours just that time. I had been in there before for like maybe 30 minutes and gone to another bank at another station. So altogether, this is like a 5-hour process to get my money out.
Your money.
My money. My own money in my account from this woman who seems to know, I mean, she should know me, but clearly she acted like she didn't. So finally, they're like, yeah, we'll go ahead and transfer it. And I thought, yeah, that doesn't seem right. I'm not going to let you transfer it when I've just yelled at you and told you I'm leaving the country to never return. Because if you mess up this paperwork, you barely believe in email. What am I going to do, fax you to try and figure out where you sent my money? So I'm like, you know what, that's okay. Just give it to me all in cash. So they gave, yeah, I'm not even joking. I was like, I'll take the cash. And they're like, oh, but you need your hanko to get the cash. I was like, I will flip a fucking table if you mention a hanko one more time. So I pulled out like $8,000 in cash in yen, and that's what I just took with me everywhere I went.
So you carried $8,000 with you in yen?
Yes.
God forbid you got robbed.
Exactly. So every day when I was leaving hotels, I had the struggle. I was like, do we think someone's going to like steal from inside the hotel, or would I be mugged? I thought, you know what? Let's just do half and half.
The 50-50 chance.
So we keep 4 with me, 4 over there, so that at least I'll always have some money, unless it goes real bad and I get mugged and they rob my hotel room.